Well, hello traders and welcome to BCR's Evening Market Outlook, where we give you a quick rundown of the key market developments across currencies, commodities and precious metals. So let's dive in. First up, let's talk a bit about the US dollar, which saw some renewed strength today after a US court made headlines by halting Trump's tariff policies. This decision, coming on what some are calling Liberation Day, raises serious constitutional questions about using emergency powers to impose tariffs. While the final outcome could end up in the Supreme Court, this is already being seen as a turning point. If these tariffs are ultimately removed, it could lift a major weight off global trade and boost investor sentiment. That's why we're seeing a pickup in risk assets and a generally positive tone in the markets. In the near term, this legal development could support the dollar by reducing pressure on the US economy. Turning to crude oil, WTI prices climbed above $62.50 during the Asian session, driven by a combination of improving market sentiment and supply-side factors. This decision made by OPEC to maintain current production quotas gave price a boost, and markets are now watching closely for Saturday's upcoming OPEC meeting, which may lay out production plans for July. On the US side, API data showed a sizable drop in crude inventories, down over 4 million barrels last week. That said, total stockpiles are still significantly higher year to date. And a stronger US dollar could also limit further upside in oil. All eyes now turn towards the EIA inventory report and the second estimate of US GDP tomorrow. Lastly, let's talk a bit about gold as well. Gold prices remained under pressure through Wednesday's US session and into today, largely weighed down by the Fed's meeting minutes and the broader rebound in risk sentiment. The court's move to block Trump's trade policy pushed the dollar higher and took some shine off safe haven assets like gold. Still, there are a few things keeping gold supported in the background, namely ongoing geopolitical risks involving Russia, Ukraine, and the Middle East. And it's worth noting that Goldman Sachs is still bullish long-term, recommending higher gold allocations due to rising institutional risks and continued central bank buying. That's it for this evening market update. While today brought some optimism back into the markets, we'll be watching tomorrow's data releases closely, especially the EIA's oil report and the GDP revision of the US. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again in the morning for the next market outlook. Trade smart and stay informed.